Hey everyone, TJ here with Running Shoes Guru, here to talk today about the Brooks Adrenaline 21. The Brooks Adrenaline has been around for over 20 years, so you know they're doing something right. It is one of Brooks' best-selling shoes, along with its neutral counterpart, the Ghost. It retails for $130 and it competes with the Mizuno Wave Inspire, the GT2000 from Asics, and the Saucony Guides. It sits in the middle of the stability lineup from Brooks, with the Transcend being the top tier, Adrenaline middle tier, and the bottom tier is the Ravenna. Now Brooks, in 2021, if you haven't heard, is simplifying their lineup. Basically, they're taking their neutral shoes, the Glycerin and the Launch, and they're making a stability model. So the Ravennas are not going to be around anymore. As far as I know, the Adrenaline name is going to continue on. That's how popular this shoe is. But the Transcend is going to be switched to a Glycerin GTS, is how you're going to be able to tell if it's a stability offering or if it's a neutral offering. As I say in my review, let's start from the ground up. The Adrenaline 21 outsole, made of a blown rubber. Flex Omega grooves keep the flexibility in the forefoot. This blown rubber is going to last a long time. I ran probably 150 miles in them, and there is not much wear to them. So it's definitely a shoe that is built for mileage. 2 editions ago, Brooks did something monumental. They took out their medial post and they added guide rails. The guide rails were introduced in the Transcend probably 5 or 6 years ago, and they have made their way into all their stability all their stability offerings in their lineup. They've taken it, and what it is, it basically serves as a bumper. As you can see, you've got one on the medial post and you got one on the lateral side, and it really just engages and keeps you, let's do it this way, it keeps you from going from one side or another. If you maybe don't need as much stability, it's not going to engage as much. But if you do, it really kind of like corrects you and keeps you on. I have never ran in Adrenalines before, so I don't know Adrenalines with the medial post versus Adrenalines with the guide rail. I am a fan of the guide rail, so I can tell you after running in these, I felt like they kept me stable, gave me the stability when I needed it, without being too overbearing too, because sometimes stability can be a pretty bit overbearing. 12 millimeter drop, that takes a little bit of getting used to. I feel like it could be a little bit lower. The foam is made up of 2 materials. We got the DNA Loft, which has been extended in this edition all the way down from heel to toe on the lateral side. And we've got the BioMogo DNA. It is a firm, responsive, but also kind of cushy feeling of a ride. One thing that the Brooks, that is different from others, is I felt like the Brooks break-in period, the Adrenaline break-in period, was a little bit longer than some of the other trainers that I've ran in and reviewed. Probably about 20 or 30 miles, I would say. But once they're broken in, man, they deliver every single time. And I'll talk more about that later. Let's talk about the upper of the Brooks Adrenaline. The Brooks Adrenaline underwent last year. They switched out their material to a new engineered mesh. Still engineered mesh, it's double layer of engineered mesh. It's breathable, it's flexible, it's all that you could ask for in an upper. I would say the upper is kind of a medium fit overall. I noticed very early on that Brooks has more of a kind of a wide fit than other brands out there. I experienced some midfoot tightness in other areas. I didn't experience it in these. Toe box is nice and wide. It's that medium fit. It's not super tight. The heel doesn't lock you in super tight. Midfoot, it's not locked in super tight. And the toe box is wider to give you more where you have your toes splay out. They have added slightly more cushioning in the heel this year. It is a 3D print. There's no overlays, no point of irritation. and it's durable as well, just like the midsole and the outsole of the shoe. It's built for miles. When I think of Brooks, I think of my college roommate. My college roommate every year would buy the new Brooks Ghosts the week they came out. They were reliable, and he was dedicated and loyal to that brand. And if you talk to most Brooks runners, they show the same dedication and loyalty to the brand. Brooks is the brand that's that restaurant that offers 3 or 4 things that are done so well. They're some of the best in the city, maybe the best burger, as opposed to a place that has a menu that offers 50 things, but those 50 things are done mediocrely. Let's talk about the strengths of the Brooks Adrenaline 21. I loved the ride of the 21. It was stable when I needed it to be stable. It wasn't overbearing, it wasn't tight in any area. It was responsive. It gave me the energy return that I needed. The guide rails, like I said before, I never run with a medial post Adrenaline. I've only ever run with the guide rails, and the guide rail system works for me. And I feel like it should work for most people who need stability. It was durable. I mean, this thing's gonna last hundreds and hundreds of miles. It's reliable and it's consistent. There's some drawbacks to this shoe. It's not a perfect shoe. The 12 millimeter drop is a drawback for me. It feels a little bit like you're running on a slope. I feel like in the last few years, brands are starting to lower that to 10, 8, Hoka's a 4. And I wish it would come down a little bit from 12 to maybe an 8. I think if you made it an 8, it would be a perfect shoe. Another thing is that Brooks took longer than other trainers to break into. I didn't feel like I really felt the perfect ride until probably about 20 or 30 miles in, maybe even a little bit more. But my friends, once it's broken in, it is one of the most consistent and reliable trainers out there. It is gonna be your day in and day out trainer. It's not a perfect trainer, but it could be your daily trainer for any type of workout you throw at it. So if you haven't tried Brooks, I would try it. Give it a shot. You won't be disappointed. Hey friends, if you want to read more, my review is on the website. It's a lot more in depth than this video. Also, please like and subscribe if you like these videos. We'll keep them coming to you. Thanks for watching.